Hi everyone, welcome back to this next video. I hope you are all well. I hope you have enjoyed the first few videos and have managed to find some time to to practice and find some adaptations that suit whatever kind of circumstances you're in during this lockdown. What we're going to do today, the first couple of videos we talked about throwing and catching. So there was regular throwing and catching, there was fielding ground balls, and there was fielding fly balls. So those were the three kind of main focuses for those first couple of videos, just kind of introducing the basics for those. What we're going to do today is I'm just going to show you some skills, drills that you can use now that you've kind of practiced the basics, some skills and drills that you can use to practice a little bit more. So rather than just the basic throwing and catching what I showed you in the first couple of videos, some little competitions, some little drills that make things a little bit different. All of them can be adapted to be made easier or harder, and I'll kind of try and explain some of those as I go. And for the most part we can adapt them. And again, I'll mention some of the adaptations where I can. So using different types of equipment that you may have lying around the house if you don't have any kind of balls or any kind of adapted balls. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So first things first, we're going to get to the warm-up. So warm-up will be first, then we'll come back with an extended part of the warm-up as well as these extra kind of skills and drills. So here is the warm-up. Next 30 seconds is going to be star jumps. Okay, so next are windmills. So you're going to do feet shoulder width apart. Using your hands, you are just going to bend and touch your foot with the opposite hand. Okay, just bend your knees a little bit. Try and keep your legs fairly straight, but with a little bit of bend in them. So. we're going to warm up our legs a little bit more. I call this one open and close the gate. So all you're going to do is just jogging on the spot. Every couple of seconds, you're just going to bring your knee up, out and round. So for this side, up, out and round. Once you've done that on each leg, you can then bring it up and back in. Same for the other side, up and back in. So let's have a little go at that. So let's get our arms moving again a little bit. So we're just going to rotate our arms. And then we're going to move backwards. Do this one, see if you can do one arm forwards, one arm backwards. If you can do that, can you do it the other way? Okay, so now you have warmed up, you have done your kind of movements and stretches and things like that. Just like the previous videos, we'll do the same in every video. We will have a bit of more of an extended warm-up using either, if you've got a glove and a ball, fantastic. If not, remember just to catch with your weaker hand. So in softball, just a quick reminder, in softball we throw with our strong hand and we catch with our weaker hand. That's what the glove would usually be on. So if you don't have the glove, just catch with a weaker hand. Mine would be my left. And if you don't have a ball, some adaptive pieces of equipment. I explained, I'm sure everybody's got socks at home. What you can do is just roll some socks up into a ball and use that as a ball. So yeah, let's get into the extended warm-up. Just some throwing and catching against the wall, remembering the 3 steps we talked about when we throw: point, step, throw. All right. Again, if you want to give yourself a bit of a challenge during this, fantastic. If you want to give yourself a target, you can give yourself a target. If you've got a partner, see if you can throw the ball to them without them moving. You know, same sort of stuff we've done in previous weeks. So I don't have a partner again today. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see on the wall there are some kind of discoloured bricks. So I'm going to use one of those discoloured bricks as my target, and I'm going to see if I can continuously hit there or thereabouts. All right, so let's have a little go at that quickly. Okay, so I am hitting that there or thereabouts consistently. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move a little bit further back. All right, so that's something you can do. Once you feel a little bit warmer, you can gradually start to move back. So I'm going to do that now quickly. I know I'm out of shot, but you can just see if I continue to hit the brick and then I'll move it back so you can see me. Okay, I'll turn you this way just so you can see me, how I make the throw as I'm gradually moving further and further away. Okay, so there is an example of that. Have a little go. Take as long as you need. There's no kind of time limit on how long you should be doing it for. Obviously, don't do it for too long that your arm starts to ache. You just want to kind of get nice and warm. So yeah, take some time to do that now. Okay, so some adapted equipment we could use for this drill, and all of these drills really. First thing, targets. I'm using this coloured brick on the wall, but other options I could use, a hoop. If you have a hoop at home, hula hoop, you could stick that on the wall or up against the wall, balance it on something to use as a target. Tea towel. Okay, if you were to open it up and stick that on the wall, gives you a good size target to aim for. All right, and obviously depending on how hard and how easy you want to make it for yourself, fold it in half. You know, different sizes, different ways of adapting it. I have an A3 piece of paper here that I use. I've laminated this one, but you don't have to have it laminated. You could just stick an A3 piece or a couple of A4 pieces on the wall. All right. We've talked about socks before. We did it in video 1. I mentioned just roll up some socks. All right. It's not a perfect round ball, so when it bounces off things, it's not always going to come kind of where you want it to go, because it might hit kind of a bit that's sticking out. So be prepared to move when you're trying to catch this one. So socks. I have a tennis ball. Obviously, I've shown you the difference before in the size of a tennis ball and a softball. They're a lot smaller, but again, you're still working on the same sort of technique. Obviously, you're holding it a little bit different because it's smaller, but the technique is the same in the actions for throwing. And I've also got here an airflow ball. All right, again, round, you can use it. Different sorts of adaptations you could use. And I'm sure there's other things at home you may have lying around that you can use as a replacement for a ball, just to do some throwing and catching. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're gonna show you some drills that you can practice. You can do them on your own. You can do them with a partner. If you've got somebody whilst you're in lockdown that you can do them with, fantastic. The first one is going to be about fielding a ball, moving and throwing the ball. All right, those three things, not necessarily in that order, but those three. So as you can see, there are 3 cones there, green cones with each have a softball on. There is also a white cone just behind me there. What I'm trying to do is start at the white cone, run to a green cone, field the ball, and remember, when we field a ball, we want to be fielding it in our glove or in our glove hand, all right, in a match. So although this ball is not moving and it would be easy enough just to pick it up with your throwing hand, I want you to try and get into the habit of fielding with your glove hand. So get your glove hand down, get your second hand in to secure the ball, and then transition into that throwing position and try and throw the ball to hit the target. All right, so the aim is to see how many out of 3 you can get to hit your target. All right, there are other ways of doing it. You could have a competition where you time yourself. How quickly can you do all 3? All right, and if you miss the target, maybe there's some sort of additional time added on or something like that. There are different ways of playing it, but the basic way for me, what I'm going to do is how many times can I hit the target. All right, so let me just show you that one quickly, how I would play this. So starting from the white cone, I've got to do all 3 and come back to the white cone in between. So look a little bit like this. Okay, so that is the drill. Very simple. You can make it easier or harder for yourself. So you can move the cones further back, make it a little bit harder, because you're gonna have to throw further. You can make the distance between the white and the green cones a little bit further away if you want to kind of run a little bit more. But yeah, that's the first drill. If you are using a partner instead of a wall, still do the drill pretty much the same. So instead of fielding the ball from the ground, you could have your teammates standing in the position where you want the ball to be thrown to, and they could be ready there with their glove ready to catch when you make the throw. But yeah, you don't have to necessarily have the ball on the cone. You can have it, that is absolutely fine, but you can also get them to roll the ball into you or throw the ball into you. So when you run from the white cone to the green cone, as you're approaching the green cone, they could throw the ball into you, so you can field it and then make the throw. So that's just another adaptation, and you can do different throws. All right, we've practiced some different catches, some fly balls, some ground balls, some just regular catches. Mix it up, okay? If you don't have a partner, what you can do, if you don't want to field it from the ground, another adaptation is throw the ball against the wall, catch it and then throw it. All right, so let me show you just a quick example of that. So if I have my glove and my ball, this one's obviously going to be harder with things like socks, because you're going to need to get quite close to bounce the ball, the socks back. But if you have tennis balls or something, they would be fine. So yeah, you can feed the ball to yourself. So I might run to the green cone, I might throw the ball at the wall, make the catch, and then make the throw. Okay, so those are just some other options to adapt the drill, make it a little bit interesting, make it a little bit more more like match play. All right, and challenge yourself. All right, different adaptations. So yeah, that is the end of the first drill. So let's just move on to the next one. Okay, so next drill is I'm going to show you how to do it for fly balls, because we've just done a drill on kind of regular throwing, but you can do it for regular throws as well. All right, using the cones, and I'll explain how in just a second. But the drill, if you look here, there are 3 cones set up kind of different distances away from the wall. What I'm going to do is, the first way I'm going to play it, I'm going to try and make a catch at every cone. So I have to throw the ball against the wall and then catch it. As I mentioned, we're doing fly balls. All right, so if you remember, fly balls are balls that are hit high up into the air and you're trying to catch them. So for this, for the fly ball exercise, I want you to catch it at head height or just above. All right, that's what we want it. We want our fingers, glove pointing up and making the catch here. Remember, second hand in to support it and then make the quick transition out to the throw. Can I throw the ball against the wall, make a catch at each cone? Let's have a look at that. Okay, that's cone number 1. Cone number 2. Oh, a little bit too high for the throw. Cone number 3. All right, so that is the first one. Again, you can go even further back if you want to. All right, another way you can play it, rather than making a catch at each cone, can you give yourself points? So for instance, if I catch at the first cone, I get 1 point. If I catch at the second cone, I get 2. If I catch at the third cone, I get 3. And you can challenge yourself, and you can challenge your teammates, any of your friends. Say for instance, I do 10 throws. How many points can I earn in them 10 throws? All right, just another adaptation of how to do it. Right, so third drill. We've done a drill, and again, this can be adapted to do kind of many throws. So although I've shown you a drill that I've said and demonstrated as a regular throw, you could probably adapt it to do a ground ball or a fly ball as well. So yeah, things are ways you can adapt them. I've hopefully tried to show you some as we go, but yeah, so third drill, have 3 cones set up here. We're going to be used for practicing ground balls. Now, in video, I believe it was video 2, I showed you kind of the basics of fielding a ground ball. All right, so just a reminder, getting in your athletic position, okay, knees shoulder width apart, glove or glove hand, depends on what you're using, down. Second hand here, ready to protect your face and also secure the ball in once it's in there, and then get ready to transition into the throw. So those were the kind of key points for fielding a ground ball. Now, we did it nice and simple because it was an introduction to it. nice and simple, the ball was coming straight back towards you. All right. What we're going to try and show you now is if the ball doesn't come straight towards you, you firstly want to try and move your feet. So you want to get across so that ideally you can field the ball in front of you. All right, you're not having to reach for it. But there are going to be times where that's not possible. You are not going to be able to get through or past quick enough that you can field it in front of you. So there will be times where we need to kind of adjust and turn our glove. So anyway, into the drill. 3 cones. I'm going to stand by the white cone, all right, and I am going to throw the ball against the wall, let it come straight back to me, make some catches. Okay, that's what we're going to do first. So I'm going to do that one now. Okay, so that is the first thing. Once you've practiced that, can you start at the white cone, throw the ball against the wall so that it bounces towards the green cone? Okay, we're trying to get our feet across and field it in front of us. We're not trying to reach just yet. I want you to try and move your feet. So obviously the harder you throw it against the wall, the quicker it's going to come back to you. So start off easy, get used to it. Okay, get your feet across, get in the position to catch, to field the ball. And then as you're getting better at it and getting more comfortable, then you can start to throw it a little bit harder and challenge yourself. All right, so I'm gonna have a little go at that. And then once you've fielded it back into the middle, that one wasn't quite thrown hard enough. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing, but towards the blue cone. Okay, so hopefully you saw that I got my feet, shuffled my feet across, got across to where the ball was headed, got my glove down using that good technique. Yeah, that is the next kind of drill. There we are with some drills. I've tried to give you a few kind of variations. I've tried to explain as best I can without actually having you here to coach. So hopefully you get them. Hopefully you're able to use them and enjoy them most of all. Yeah, they're just kind of there to give you different ways of practicing the throwing and catching that I've explained in the first couple of weeks. All right, because it's all well and good being able to throw and catch, but trying to add in some movement, trying to add in some other elements to make it more kind of like match play is what we were kind of wanted to aim to do today. There are some adaptations in there, adapted equipment, so things like our socks, tennis balls, just using our hand rather than a glove to catch, a few different things. So hopefully you have equipment, so again, tea towels, hoops, paper, anything for a target. Hopefully you have something at home, if you're at home doing this, that you can adapt and use. All right, that's the aim. We want you to be able to trying to give you things that you can do while you're kind of at home and stuff. So yeah, that is this video. All right, go away, practice them. There are lots and lots of drills that you can find on YouTube, on the internet, just by doing a Google search. All right, lots of different things you can try to practice. So if you want to have a little look at some of those, please do. And yeah, I'll be back. There's plenty more stuff for us to be doing. We've still got things like batting, fielding, running the bases, that sort of stuff. There's still plenty for us to work through in these next few videos. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.